minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Peace, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at TBP Radio, and we are about community, business community, and culture. And I am your host, and tonight we're going to be talking about different things that you either know or you need to know. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Definitely don't want to be on long, just enough to give you what you probably need to know off top. So, all right. So, thank everybody for being here, being a part of TVP Radio, where we're on here every Sunday at 7:00, and we're just giving you some of that information that you either found out or no one told you about. So, thank you for being here. Appreciate you 1000%. All right. So, this is a talk-in show, so if you want to talk about it, you can call in today at 254-768-7203. I don't know why I almost said 7208. But anyway, if you want to call in to talk about it, 254-768-7203. If there's a topic that you want to discuss a little bit further in a little bit more detail based off of how you feel, you can call in today again at 254-768-7203. All right, here we go. The things you know or need to know. So this segment is called to slap or not to slap. That is the question. I mean, of course, everybody know that this went down, and it was a very interesting subject to where a lot of people was talking about the Will Smith thing and the Chris Rock thing all week. I'm talking about just a plethora of memes, a whole bunch of videos of people talking about it, and just people, they're taking the side of Will Smith. Some people taking the side of Chris Rock, but this is R2's thoughts. You never know what a person is going through. Of course, yes, if you are an actor and you're in that world, you got to have tough skin because people are going to say what they want to say. I mean, just to be honest, they're going to say what they want to say. The man's been through a whole lot of stuff, especially with the whole entanglement situation that went down. But it just, I guess it came to a boiling point, and it got to the point to where Will just couldn't take it anymore. You know, he's been taking it on the chin for a long time, and this time he took it to somebody else's chin. But I'm not saying he was justified. I'm not saying the man was wrong. I'm not saying the man was not wrong. All I'm saying was he got to a point to where he could not take it anymore, and he did what he felt was right at that particular time. So we're going to show you some things that some people really don't care about it, and well, they don't like what happened. So right now, the whole snowball effect of Will Smith is starting to take place, and it just begins to, I'm not going to say get worse from here, but I will say it's getting real interesting from this point. So we can look at a lot of other things, what a lot of other people have done. So diving deep inside of this conversation and looking at the history of the Oscars and some of the things that other people have done to where yet they still have their Oscars and they're not getting the same type of backlash that Will Smith is getting right now. Again, I'm not saying what he did was right, and I'm not saying what he did was wrong. I'm just looking at the situation and looking at the equity on the table, because if you do something to one person, and you should be able to do that same thing with everybody else. So look at the situation that happened with Mel Gibson, the situation that happened with what's his name, Henry Weinstein or whatever his name is, and also other situations with Woody Allen. You know, they were in the public, but yet their public situation didn't affect their Oscars. Yeah, Will just did something that everybody saw, you know, in the open, the act of it, but he's getting some things that is happening to him that the other people that I mentioned previously are not getting. So I'm going to show you what Netflix is doing, and so is Sony to Will Smith and what he has done. So let's go ahead and get into it so you can listen to what they're saying. Really? Internet is tripping. Oh my God. Here we go. All right, hold tight. I'm gonna fix this because I want y'all to see this. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. You definitely gotta see this as far as what they doing to this whole Will Smith situation. You know, I'm not saying they blowing it way out of proportion, but I am saying they really coming for him right now. So you know how y'all fix stuff and set stuff up and you're prepped and you rehearse it. The rehearsal sounds good, just like in the military. Y'all can go through all these rehearsals all day, but it's time to roll out the gate. Every vehicle is going down. Radio's losing consec and all types of comsec and all types of stuff. So yeah, hold on right quick. Let me bring this back because you definitely got to see this. It's just, to me, is really not fair what they doing to Will. But hey, I know, I promise, I know he did it. You know, he's paying for it a whole lot worse than a lot of other people did. I tell you that. All right. Hopefully it come up. Well, hopefully it plays this time. Thank you for your patience. Oh, okay.
Production outlets now putting the brakes on projects with actor Will Smith after he slapped Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars. Charles Watson is live with the latest developments on this Hollywood story. Hello, Charles.
Yeah, hi, Mike. The fallout continues for Will Smith. He is now facing pushback from Hollywood for the moments. He hit Chris Rock after the comedian made a G.I. Jane joke about his wife. Smith was set to star in Fast and Loose, a Netflix movie about a crime boss with a memory problem, but that has since been put on hold, according to The Hollywood Reporter. And Netflix isn't alone, Mike. There are reports Sony is putting a pause on the fourth installment of the Bad Boys series that stars Smith and comedian Martin Lawrence. While Smith is facing serious consequences, the jokes keep coming at his expense. Check out NBC Saturday Night Live's play on the slap that was seen by millions around the world.
Will Smith, for those of you who don't know, walked on stage during the Academy Awards and slapped Chris Rock after he made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, which I think was a disgraceful act that sets a terrible precedent for having to defend your wife at award shows.
During his acceptance speech, Will Smith said, "Love will make you do crazy things." You know what else makes you do crazy things? Crazy.
In the meantime, Smith resigned from the Academy after widespread criticism of his actions. In a statement, he wrote he would, quote, fully accept any and all consequences for my conduct. My actions at the 94th Academy Awards presentation were shocking, painful, and inexcusable. Denzel Washington was seen consoling Smith after the incident, and on Saturday he was asked about that conversation. Washington refused to go into details, but did say prayer was needed and said this, quote, "Who are we to condemn?" And nonetheless, Mike, Smith could face more consequences as the Academy reviews the slapping situation. It could possibly lead to the Academy taking Smith's Oscar back, but there are a lot of folks out there who believe that is unlikely. I guess we'll know when we know. Mike?
No slapping on this show. Charles, thanks very much.
All right, so that whole situation, again, they're really coming for Will Smith right now. Sony, with the Bad Boys, trilogy, coming with the fourth movie. Now they're trying to stop that fourth Bad Boys from coming out because of the situation that happened right there. Netflix is stopping two of the projects that Will Smith was supposed to come out during the springtime, and I think another one was that's supposed to be coming out in the I think in the summertime. So they're putting the brakes on both of those two projects for Will Smith. Yeah, I seen another interview to where Denzel Washington, he was up on stage. I think it was a leadership conference, something like that, and he was with T.D. Jakes, and T.D. Jakes had asked him the question as far as what was his thoughts about the whole Will Smith situation, because again, like you've seen on there, that Denzel Washington was seen consoling Will at that particular time, and he just said, we just need prayer. I mean, that's a senior Black man who understands that what we are dealing with is giving that man his space, and I appreciate Denzel Washington for being that elder, that old oak tree to console Will Smith at that time, because I'm sure Will felt like he was on an island, all by himself. I mean, even though he did those actions, Denzel Washington still had enough in him to come and communicate with him, even after the situation had taken place. So I thank Denzel Washington for having that type of manhood to want to go and console another man during his time of turmoil around that time. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to be talking about, the House votes to decriminalize marijuana, cannabis. I'll just read it as it says. The House votes to decriminalize cannabis, and there is going to be a lot more that's going to take place with this. So I'm going to show you this nice video where they're talking about it and a little bit more about what is about to take place with the decriminalization of cannabis.
On Capitol Hill this week, the House expected to pass legislation that would legalize cannabis on a federal level. The vote heads to the floor tomorrow. It could effectively end the Reagan-era war on drugs. Kelly Beeson joins us now. So, Kelly, does this signal a national shift in attitude when it comes to drugs like cannabis?
Well, that seems to be the case, Nicole, and it appears to be guided by increasing public backing for cannabis reform, as a majority of Americans now support legalizing the drug.
The House is poised to pass legislation this week that would legalize marijuana. It's called the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act. The bill has near uniform support among Democrats and a top ally in the Senate, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The legislation would eliminate criminal penalties associated with marijuana, further establish a process to remove the convictions of nonviolent marijuana offenders, and impose a federal tax on marijuana sales, with proceeds funding programs for substance misuse, treatment, and legal counseling. Polling shows that the American public supports legalizing marijuana by large margins. A Pew Research Center poll last year found that 91% of U.S. adults believe that marijuana should be legal to at least some extent. And according to the National Conference of State Legislatures, right now at least 37 states, 4 territories in the District of Columbia allow cannabis products for medical use. Cannabis is also allowed for non-medical use in 18 states, 2 territories, and the nation's capital.
And now the big question is, will this pass in the Senate, which appears to be the tougher vote? Nicole.
All right, so Kelly, there's also another piece of legislation which if passed, would allow cannabis companies to work with U.S. banks, something that didn't happen before.
Yeah, that's right. And that piece of legislation is called the Safe Banking Act, that would enable legally operating cannabis firms to use banking services and credit cards. And some in the cannabis industry are pushing lawmakers to get this reform bill to President Biden's desk before the November midterms.
Yeah, definitely keyword there, legally operating cannabis firms. All right, Kelly, thank you. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me reading all of that stuff is the expungement. So, for those that are in jail, incarcerated for doing the same thing that is being legalized, definitely go back and look at those individuals that are in prison for that. So, I think that's the biggest part of the legalization things are those who are incarcerated for what you just decriminalized. So I think that's the big thing, and I hope that those individuals who are in there, they come out and go through a system. So I would say for everybody else who was on the other side of the decriminalization of it, I'm telling you, there's going to be some big paychecks that's going to get cut. Even to the point, like when they're saying, making it bankable, what they're saying is ensuring that when those stocks really hit the market, then people have the ability to buy those stocks just as well as they do everything else. So make sure you check that out. Now, this individual thing that I found was how Black culture helped define American cuisine. I mean, if you saw Good Morning America today, then you probably have seen this special. So this was real interesting in finding about what they were doing. There is an actual museum that actually, I think it kicked off this week in New York, where they're talking about how the Black culture helped define American cuisine. And let's talk about it.
Our beans.
You probably haven't had pork and beans like this, with edamame.
I'm gonna add our bacon
and tomatoes.
So this big mama, that's our Berkshire pork shank.
And how's that for a centerpiece?
When you said pork and beans, this is literally not what we were picturing.
So when we first opened, we kind of knew what people's expectations would be on what we were gonna do, Black-owned restaurant. You're expecting pork and beans, you're expecting this. And so we let that get them in the doors and then show them this kind of stuff.
At Chris Williams' Houston restaurant, Lucille's everything from the shrimp and grits to the braised oxtail has an unexpected twist, an approach he calls well-refined Southern cuisine.
Are you changing the perception of soul food?
The goal here is to change the limited framing of African-American chefs while paying homage to our roots.
Williams says the idea of redefining what it means to be a Black chef is wound in his DNA, thanks to his great-grandmother, the legendary chef, educator, and entrepreneur, Lucille B. Smith.
And she created the country's first instant hot roll mix. Iterations of that hot roll dough, which are like these chili biscuits right here, were served to American Airlines, their first-class passengers. She broke through the color lines with the brilliance of her product.
Lucille is one of more than 400 Black culinary influencers featured in a new Museum of Food and Drink exhibit called African American, Making the Nation's Table. It opened recently in New York City.
We are beginning, and unfortunately only beginning, to understand the enormous, extraordinary hand that African Americans have had in the cooking pots of America.
Culinary historian Jessica B. Harris is the lead curator.
You say that it's more American than apple pie, this African-American cooking.
It is.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think African-American cooking or soul food, whatever you want to call it, is more American than apple pie? I would probably say yes. I mean, I would say who actually made and baked the apple pie? So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of homework. I found this out. So if you go to Popeyes, if Popeyes is your thing, go to Popeyes, and on when you're walking inside, it really depends on where they put it at. So when you're walking inside of Popeyes, there's a plaque or some big wall with information on it, and it tells you how far back the recipe Popeyes goes, as far back. Trust me, it was into slavery. So my thing is, who actually cooked it? Who gave them the spices and all that stuff? But again, that's just me. That's just the R2 thoughts and conversations behind all that. So who cooked the Popeyes chicken? I mean, I think it was us. But whatever, I'll leave that alone. All right, so now we're going into the community events, as you saw in the beginning. So these are some community events that I found that you might be interested in, just a little bit, maybe a lot. I don't know, depend on what you're looking for and what you're interested in. All right, so this right here is pretty good. I mean, it's very different, I will say. So the organizer for this event, they got a teen cuisine workshop. The dates of this event is a six week workshop, which already started yesterday. They got another one on the 16th, one on the 23rd, one on May 7th, June 21st. And no, yeah, June 20, what? Oh, May 27th, May 7th, May 21st, and June 4th. Is going from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So let me go ahead and drop the link inside of the chat for those who have a teen that want to involve your teen inside of this teen cuisine. So make sure you click the link and let them know you heard it from TVP Radio. That's how you learn about their event, and just sign up or pass it on to another parent that you know that they have a child who loves to cook. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you, of course, this is April. The month of April is always known as federal. I don't know why I almost said federal. April is always known as Financial Literacy Month. So there is a financial literacy skills workshop on April the 9th, which is Saturday at 12 p.m. So this financial literacy program is financial literacy not only involves the ability to count your money, but it also tests your ability to evaluate the cost and benefits associated with each decision that you make. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this event inside the chat again. Make sure you click the link. If it's for you, go ahead and pass that on. I mean, if it's not for you, go ahead and pass that on. If it's something that you're interested in, go ahead and click the link. And make sure that you register for the event. And when they ask you, oh, where did you hear it from? Let them know again you heard it from me, Mr. TVP. All right, bars. I know y'all like how that rhymed. All right, for mommy and daughters, finding this out, I mean, is real good. I love the flyer. It's real clean. It's not something where I look at a flyer and be like, who in the world made this? All right, so this mother and daughter mani-pedi day, it says RSVP by April the 4th. So that means you got until tomorrow to make sure this happened. And it needs to be done because tomorrow's the last day. All right, so make sure you secure your spot. This is going on April the 9th, which is Saturday again at 4 p.m. So I'm going to drop this link again inside the chat. If you are a mother and you have a daughter and you and your daughter have yet to do a mani-pedi day, now you have the ability to go and be with other mothers and daughters to where you can have fun and meet somebody new. You can probably find another another outing with other women and children, and y'all just build a new community and have fun with each other. All right. So the very next thing, the event that's going down, it's going to be on not this Saturday coming up on the 9th, but April the 16th, which is the next following Saturday, is going down in Harker Heights, Culture on the Square. This event has been brought to you by the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce. If you don't know anything about the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, make sure you go to the link, go to the website, innovationbcc.org, and they have a Culture on the Square, which is like a block soiree or block party, what have you, whatever you want to call it. But this has a lot of culture involved. So you're going to have dancing from a Brazilian samba. They're going to be dancing. There's going to be the hula halau. They're going to be dancing out there. There's going to be fire dancing. There's going to be live music performances that's going to be out in the space. And it's during Easter weekend. So most Easter events are already done before 5 o'clock. So most Easter events is like from 11 to 1 or 11 to 2 or 3, whatever it is. Then come ahead and bring your family. Also bring them out to Carl Levins Park so they can partake in this community event to where you can just go out there and enjoy your family and just an extended day. I mean, it lets everybody just be totally, one or meeting other people from other cultures and things like that on that particular day. So go ahead and click Culture on the Square, where you can be a part of this family fun event during Easter weekend. So you can go to church, get your suit and get your Easter dinner out and all this other stuff. 5 o'clock. I know you're not eating anymore, but if you are, you can eat and still come out because it ends at 9 o'clock. So make sure you come out and be a part of this. One of the things that I love, the best part for me is like at the end, they have like a huge community, line dance. I think that they did the electric slide and the wobble and some other stuff. So make sure you click that link and come out. It is at no cost to you with coming out to this cultural event, Culture on the Square in Harker Heights. So be there and don't be square. I used to always hate that. I don't even know why I said it. But anyway, make sure you are prepared to come for the week. Why? What does that mean to prepare yourself to prepare yourself for the week? That means you understanding what do you have on your calendar. Look at your calendar today. Don't get caught slipping. Don't figure out at 3 o'clock you got something at 3:30 and you way on the other side of town and you trying to figure out how you're going to get there on time. Today is the day for you to look at it, and today is the day for you to ensure that you have yourself together for the rest of the week. I'm just saying, it's the first week of April. Make sure you reach out to somebody and say, hey, how can I help you this week? Is there anything that I can do to help you out? If not, just let me know and I will be there for you if you need me during that particular time. So without further ado, I thank you and I appreciate you for being here at TBP Radio, to where we are about business, community, and culture. I had the wrong logo up on this thing the whole time. Look at that. Y'all ain't see it. Somebody did. If you did, whatever. If you didn't, y'all still be blessed. That's when you wear like 4 or 5, 50, 11 hats. But y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace.